Hello, and welcome to Double Booked, where two gal pals turn their literary rants into a podcast. I'm Mallory.
And I'm Kayla. And today we are discussing Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Very anticipated read. It is a part of Reese's book club. I just noticed that on the cover.
So did I.
And it's a part of our book club. And we're excited to talk about that today.
So excited. I've been waiting for a few days. I finished this over the weekend and I have so many thoughts.
Yeah. I finished this morning. Last night I was really trying to finish it. I had like 30 pages or so, but I was just in and out of when you lay down and
it's all over.
Your eyes just can't stay open, and I was like, this is not how I want to end it.
I know what you mean though.
It can't be the last I see of this book because I won't remember.
Yeah. I have done that where I'm not in the right headspace. I can't finish this right now. I could, but I'm not gonna. You need everything to be right.
Exactly. And that happened a lot of times with this book, I feel. I think I was on the verge of snoozing or...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. This was a tough one. I thought I was really going to breeze through it, but it took me a lot longer than I anticipated, and it kind of dragged on for me.
It kind of dragged on for a lot of people, I think. At least all the people on this podcast. It was not the easiest thing to get through.
No. So, I guess that's our reading update, is that we've been chugging along with this book for a whole week because it's just
a little difficult.
I don't know. I expected an easier read. Especially with romance books like this, I usually just
fly through it.
Plow through it. I don't know. This one was a lot tougher.
That's kind of...
Quick question.
Yes.
So, this one is over 400 pages. Is that typical for an Emily Henry? Because I can't remember.
I feel like they're all about the same-ish size.
Okay.
This is a little long.
It was a little long. But maybe I haven't read one of her books in a while. I didn't read Funny Story. So the last book I read of hers was Happy Place. And that was a little while ago. So.
Yeah. I did read Funny Story.
I'm not sure.
I should have set them up behind me because I knew I'd be looking, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm checking to see how many pages Beach Read is. Let's see.
I don't know. I feel like they're all about the same.
371. Okay, so it's about the same.
3 to 4-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to know. Good to know where...
Do you have a food update? Since that's an unofficial segment of this podcast.
That's the unofficial segment.
We just can't help ourselves.
I mean... I don't think I do, because I was alone all weekend. Right. So it was... Oh, wait. Yes, I do have one. Okay. So, let me just blow your minds real quick. I made a chicken Caesar salad pizza last week.
Sounds very tasty.
Delicious. So I love pizza in all forms, but this one takes the cake because I love a Caesar salad, but it's gotta have more carbs. The croutons just aren't cutting it for me.
It's not enough.
So you make the dough. I make dough from scratch, but you can get pre-bought dough.
But if you're a peasant, you can just get pre-made dough.
Won't be as good, but it'll be all right. And then you make chicken, shred it, and then you top the pizza with the chicken, mozzarella cheese, and very thin lemon slices. Bake that in the oven. Okay? Then you take it out. You take the lemon slices off. Well, I do, because I don't like to eat that. It's more just for flavor while it's cooking. And then on top of that, you put chopped romaine lettuce and the Caesar dressing, and you can put croutons on it if you're feeling spicy. But it's so good.
Seems really good.
So good. Yeah. It's kind of one of those pizzas that you have to eat with like a fork and a knife, but it's worth it.
That's okay. That sounds really good.
What about you? What have you been cooking up?
I made a chili just before sitting down to record. So that's simmering. I'm real excited.
I love that.
Do you put Have we talked about I feel like I know what you're gonna say. Do we put the same thing on chili and like eat it with the same thing? We've definitely talked about this because I make with tater tots and I put those on top.
We've talked about this because I said I need to start doing that.
Yeah. It's the best thing for me.
I personally love a crusty bread.
Oh yeah.
Or some tortilla chips. In it.
I've heard the tortilla chip thing like recently a lot, but never in my life have I had that. It's always been tater tots for me.
And then growing up, my dad used to make it with macaroni in it.
Okay, so I knew this. Yeah.
Like spaghetti. It's like kind of like Hamburger Helper in a way. You know, it's like the beef and the tomato sauce and so that's really good.
You can kind of do whatever you want. I've never had it with macaroni. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, you've definitely had it at my house.
Well, before. yeah, but never like on my own.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's delicious. It's so good.
Well, I guess.
Love that.
I guess there's nothing left to do, but
I guess there's nothing left
to get into this.
To discuss this book.
I could, okay. I mean, let's do it. I kind of don't want to do this to Emily Henry because I really like her books, and I have liked all of her books until this one. And if you're listening out there, Emily Henry, I would still read anything you write. We just have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, and we should preface this by saying that we have come off of the Throne of Glass series to read this. So it's just a little bit of a different writing style. The content is different, the plot is very different. There's not as much substance, and there's not supposed to be. It's a romance, and people, I've heard a lot of people say that recently, like in the book community. It's like you have to read the right book at the right time. Yeah. And I just don't know if this was the right time for this book for me personally. That has something to do with it, but
yeah. It's really hard to go from wyverns and rooks and sword fights to group chats with friends from home and croissants. Like, it's just a hard change of pace. You're really slammed on the brakes, and I've got some whiplash going on. But
it's really hard to go from Dorian and Rowan to Hayden.
Yeah. Although he was really also described as huge, or like behemoth, I think once or twice. Why can't we just have a regularly sized guy?
I mean, we're gonna talk about the words that are used in this book because I have some thoughts, but no. But all this to say is we do love Emily Henry. That's the reason we picked up this book. My favorite of hers up until this point is People We Meet on Vacation. I love that one, and I feel like that's an unpopular pick, but
yeah, I think it is too.
Quirky like that.
She's different. I've actually never read that one.
Not like other girls.
I didn't read that one, but I have to. I liked Beach Read a lot, which I also feel some people didn't like, but I mean that happens. Yeah, but I did like that one.
I feel like I rated it. I just looked at this. I rated
your past
it
ratings
a 3. So it wasn't my favorite, but
yeah, better than this one though.
But it's yeah.
Oh, I just realized that the cover. What?
Spoiler alert!
What?
You go better than this one.
Oh well. I mean, come on.
Rating.
You don't know what my rating is.
I feel like I rated Beach Read unfairly, so I might go ahead and change that after this one.
Yeah. It's all about perspective. I just realized that this is the mosaic. The cover's the mosaic.
Oh,
I've been looking at it like, what is this? I get it now.
See, this is why you need to listen to our podcast, because having two of us is so much better than having one of us.
Yeah.
Because Mallory didn't know what the cover of Songbirds, or not Songbirds, what the heck
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Sunrise on the Reaping. She didn't know what that cover was about, and I just figured this out, dummy. Oh my god.
Been staring at it for a while. Well, I take the dust jacket off, and you do this so too. Pretty. So
you're right. You know what?
We haven't been looking at it that much. I am right.
I always take the dust jacket off, and so I haven't been looking at it. Versus Sunrise on the Reaping, it was staring me in the face still because it was embossed on the cover. Yeah. So.
Not me though. Right over my head.
I'll give myself a pass on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I guess let's just. I mean, we've already started talking about it, but.
Initial thoughts? You got any initial?
Yeah. Thoughts? So, I guess. Where do I want to start?
Like first impressions of the characters, or just I don't know, whatever.
Well, like first of all, Alice is kind of a freak. Like, why are you smiling all the time? Can you imagine if you met someone like that in real life? I'd be like, get away from me. Yeah. What are you? Like, I have no patience for that.
This is so funny because I texted you. I was like, Grumpy Sunshine is my least favorite trope, I think.
Yeah.
But as I texted you this, I had just started watching Me Before You, and I'm like, wait, no, I love this movie.
I mean, I love this one.
She's ultimate sunshine. But I just think there's a way to do it right. To not make it so, like, cheesy and blatant.
And obvious.
This I did not like. And then the other Grumpy Sunshine. My literal favorite couple of all time is Grumpy Sunshine, Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls.
Oh my gosh! Another prime example.
It's fine. He doesn't count. So
they are the best.
Because that's a show, and I enjoyed watching it, but I don't know that I would have enjoyed reading it. So that's totally different.
You would have. You would have for sure. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess like
how do you
first
feel about
impressions. I like that trope. One of my favorite romance books, I guess, of late is A Grumpy Sunshine. And I did think that one was a little cheesy sometimes and a little overdone, but like this was just a little ridiculous. Why are you smiling? It reminded me of Buddy the Elf. I just like smiling. Smiling's my favorite. He's always smiling all the time, and I don't know. And there were so many moments in this book where I thought, does Emily Henry think that her readers are stupid? Like, there's so many moments. I seriously, I could write a 10-page paper on, like, why this was not it. And I kind of did, but
Yeah, she's, like, so sunshine. Like, and it's so, like, blatantly obvious. Yeah, and that's the point, like, are we stupid?
Are you
Can
stupid?
we not just like
stop it?
Subtly understand that they're like this? No, we have to like make all the clothing like it. And
she wears hot pink.
This part, page 58, really brought it home for me. So Hayden, they're at the diner, and Hayden orders egg whites, wheat toast, and seasonal fruit. And she orders peaches and cream French toast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. See, that alone would have been really cute if you hadn't overdone the smiling and the clothing of all. That would have been really cute little like, oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Yes. Because it would have been that would have been subtle had it not been for all the other things.
For everything else. And that's only like 60 pages in. So yeah, we didn't start super strong. I guess like after reading it, my big issue was that this is not actually a romance. It's like 3 different kinds of books in one. And that just doesn't work. Like, pick one, maybe two, but it's too many. Like, it's a mystery.
Well, yeah.
It's a romance, and then it's a book about Alice's family issues. You can't do all of that. Like, the first two would have been fine. Like, we don't need to know everything about every character. I'm getting worked up. Like, I'm...
No, you are. No, my first impression of this book just in general was that this is a carbon copy of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which it's not.
Literally,
it's
on
not
the
a
first
carbon
page.
copy. It's not a carbon copy, but it's the same storyline.
But right off the bat,
I wasn't a huge fan of that book, so I don't know. I don't like
the first page,
kind of
immediately you get that. You get that same...
Yeah. Same
the even someone was married 7 times. You had to have known. Like, pick a different number. Make it 6.
Yeah. Right. And on that note of it being like 4 different books in one, 4 different plot lines. So I was confused because at first I'm thinking, okay, this is a Grumpy Sunshine. It's blatantly obvious it's a Grumpy Sunshine. But then when you get into like the meat of the book, it's actually more of an enemies... It turns into an enemies to lovers because they're both competing for the same job, and then it's like, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out because
I mean, yeah, but like they were barely enemies. Like
that, but that's the thing. But then also they were barely Grumpy Sunshine.
Yeah.
Because he's the first one to say I love you.
Yeah.
His wall comes down on like page I wrote it down.
It's whenever they go get breakfast or something, right?
His walls come down so early. So that's my point. It's like, not only was it not a Grumpy Sunshine, but it also wasn't an enemies to lovers.
No.
Because they kissed, like, on page, like, 100 or something.
Yeah. And, like, him rejecting her 2 times or whatever, like, what? I mean, okay. That doesn't really mean anything. No, like...
No.
It wasn't, there wasn't a real trope for longer than 50 pages. Like,
no.
I don't think it counts.
No.
You have to stick with it.
No, and one of my favorite parts of the book was actually towards the end, because we actually had some real conflict. So when she went to Margaret, that's her name, right? Margaret? Yeah. She like confronts him. She's like, who's this guy? Because like Cecil is
the doctor.
Actually, like the doctor, and she starts like piecing all this together, but she doesn't want to tell Hayden. So she goes to Margaret and she's like, okay, tell me the truth. And she finally opens up and tells her the truth that Hayden is her grandson. And so she goes back to Hayden and she has to do this thing where she's like pushing him away and she can't talk to him because she doesn't want to lie to him, and she knows, and so she has to like pretend like she doesn't like him and she doesn't want to see him again. I like that trope. I actually like that.
It hurts.
And yeah, and I loved that part of it. That conflict between them was really good, but it only lasted for like 2 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't very substantial.
When I was, like, feeling like butterflies. I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
what's happening?" Like,
there were a few moments like that, like some good moments.
Oh yeah, there were good moments for sure,
but there were a lot of bad ones.
Hey guys, we wanted to pop in and share a little something with you. So we have an Audible 30-day free trial available at the link in our show notes and in our Instagram bio. So when you sign up, you'll get 1 credit, and that allows you to choose any title for free. You also have access to the Audible Plus library, which has tons of free content, books, podcasts, etc. I have not traditionally been an audiobook girly, but I've been loving Audible because it syncs up directly with my Kindle, and so life just gets busy. It's hard to find time to just sit down with your book and read. So when I'm cooking, doing laundry, just everyday tasks, or even driving, I'll turn on my audiobook, and when I get back to my Kindle, it'll be synced up exactly where I left off, which is just amazing. I never have to find the page again, and it's just a great resource to use. So yeah, go to the link in our Instagram bio or our show notes, or go to audibletrial.com/doublebookedpod to get your free 30-day trial.
Okay, I have a little rant.
Okay.
You mentioned how his walls dropped
One
like
big rant.
immediately. Yeah. That's all this whole thing is. But we have to talk about the trauma dumping.
Oh yeah.
Like, stop.
Page
Stop.
181.
Like the
Page
oh my
181.
god. Like okay, I'm gonna what 181?
Is this when he's like having his anxiety dump? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
Like,
181?
I swear this is what you're talking about.
Oh, what if they just hate me? That?
Yeah, like
No.
he goes into this whole thing. Oh, okay. Never mind. We can cover that later. I didn't know what you're talking about though.
I don't know if I flagged it, but it's just like I just can't. There's just this one
the
part.
The trauma dumping from Hayden. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, for both of them, honestly, but like, God almighty. There was one part where they're hanging out and like she's about to leave or something, and he goes, "And one more thing," and tells her like something about his family. Like, what? Like, why is this matter right now? Like, why is this important? I don't know. That wasn't like the only example, but just like divulging to a virtual stranger all this personal information and familial trauma that you have, like, slow down. Another example of if someone did this to me in real life, I'd be like, you need to back up.
Pump the brakes.
This is too much. Like, and it just feels like they're using their trauma and their past experiences to make up for their current behavior. He's like, it's just like another example of, does she think we're stupid? Like, if he's a dick, just like let him say it in a different way. It just
should be like frustrated and like not able to express his emotions, and
like, I don't know. I just couldn't buy it. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't buy it either.
Like, no.
Especially during this part. So page 181 is she's like asking him, do you want to have kids? And which, you know, that's a sunshiny thing to ask the grump, and him be like, he goes, sometimes when I'm feeling optimistic. And she goes, does that happen often? And he says, not often, no. So I guess this does like kind of contribute to his like demeanor.
Yeah.
But she's like, so the rest of the time when you're not feeling optimistic, what do you think? He goes, the rest of the time I think, what if the polar ice caps keep melting? What if medical care keeps getting more expensive and Social Security runs out and housing prices keep rising while minimum wage doesn't? And what if they resent me for bringing them into all of this? What if they just hate me? Not just because of the state of the world, but because they just hate me. Or what if they're sick? What if they join a cult and I can't convince them to come home? What if they start a cult? What if they get into some heinous shit and I can't love them anymore? Or worse, I keep loving them even though I can't change anything. What if there's another world war? It goes on and on.
It's too much.
And like, I'm getting anxious reading it. I'm like, I'm here to escape. Yeah. Like, sir, please.
And then goes on to list like all of the issues happening in the world right now. Like, sir.
I don't know if that was like her taking like a political stance or something. I don't know, but
it just didn't fit him.
Belonged.
Like, for that situation.
No.
Stop. No. Stop.
Please stop. Yeah.
No. It just it made me think, like, in all of the trauma dumping, and like she did it a few times too with her sister, who, by the way, we'll get to the sister, but like, it just telling strangers and people you just met, telling people stuff that's so personal to you doesn't like automatically make you close, and it doesn't automatically make me like you. Like, I don't really care what happened. Are you a good person? Like, that's just what I don't know. And he was so rude to her for like 5 minutes. I can't get, I don't know. I didn't buy it. I'm not buying what you're selling.
I would agree with that. I'm not buying it either. I wasn't super attached to him, and I think that was the problem. Like, I
don't know. I feel like that happens with authors sometimes, where like they love their characters and they get so attached to their characters because, you know, you spend time like thinking them up and then writing and then editing and then rewriting and sending it off and having all these discussions about your characters, and you get really attached to them, but like we don't know your characters yet. You have to make us like them. And just like mentioning that he had a rough childhood, which kind of sounds like he didn't, honestly, like doesn't mean I care.
Your trauma is not real.
Fake news. But like
not valid.
And that just leads me to the main question I had for this entire book was, why do I care about this? Why should I care? Like, just telling me a bunch of stuff.
Why should I care? Why do we have to go so deep into the family
of
Margaret?
God.
Like, I get it, they're writing a biography, but I don't need to see all of that. Like, half of it was so irrelevant. And I wish I would have flagged this part, because there is a part in the book where she's like talking about writing the biography, and she's like basically saying, I'm gonna need like a family tree for everybody to figure this out. And I'm like,
why isn't there?
One of those at the beginning of this book. Like, if you're really going to take us down that rabbit hole, I'm gonna need a family tree.
For sure.
I'm gonna need it at the beginning of the book, just like a map. And it was so annoying. Like, I couldn't keep everybody straight, and then it just ended up being irrelevant anyway. So it's like, some of it was like important, the whole Nicolette stuff, obviously, but like, I didn't need to know any
and even Alice asks Margaret, like, why don't we just talk about you? And she's like, this is about me. This is my life. And I think that's like a big message that Emily Henry was trying to send. Like, everything affects everything in your life, and your family is you, even if you don't claim them and they don't claim you or whatever. Like, okay, I still don't need to know all that if it's not ultimately important, which it wasn't. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
with
but
the
also, like,
grandfathers and...
Yeah, what about the theme, though, of, like, you're not you're your own person, and you can...
Yeah, there's also that.
Make a new life for your own family, and, like, why do you have to be tied down? I understand... It was this bigger connection of, like, she is tied to the industry, and the industry is something she hates and comes for her, and I liked that side of it. I don't know. I just don't think all of that was necessary.
It wasn't.
Really don't. Like,
it was not.
I feel like there was an easier way to bring the Nicolette thing to life, rather than going back to her great-grandfather, and then there's a hotel named after. Like, there could have been some other connection.
It was too much detail. And we could have, like, gotten more into the romance of it all or something. Yes! Because she's a romance author, and, like, that's what a lot of her readers came here for. You could have cut out some of the bull crap at the beginning and, like, made it more about that.
And, like... Her and Cosmo, that whole story, that was like 2 seconds.
It was not enough.
And I wrote down that I really did like how this story had a little bit more like mystery and intrigue to it. Like, when she was talking about the Nicolette stuff, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Like, when's that gonna come back? And the accident, I was like, oh, when's that gonna come up? That'll be cool. But then we just had to wait so long. It wasn't like leaving you on a cliffhanger of like, oh, well, that like is gonna, lead to the next thing. That's gonna lead to the next thing. I wasn't looking forward to continuing on with the story, even though there were these big events like the accident and like this mysterious person that we don't know.
And, like, they mention it, like, one time, the accident and stuff, and we wait so long. Like, usually with that kind of thing, you want to remind us, like, why we want to keep reading, because we needed a reminder, honestly. And they didn't bring it up until it happened, but I honestly really liked the, once the throwbacks to her life got to be about Margaret's life, I liked reading those parts. It was like, finally, maybe this will be important.
Yeah.
I flagged this part wherever they went to the concert.
Oh,
Because, okay, let's just...
She's like living every fangirl's dream.
I loved this part. It was so much fun, and like,
yeah.
Okay, she just describes how frantic and crazy the audience is in this one part.
Yeah.
It actually made me laugh out loud. It's not funny. I don't think it's supposed to be funny. It's on page 284.
Okay.
They're at the concert. Margaret got Laura to go and get out of her shell, whatever. And she's describing the crowd. Okay, the screaming of the audience started up again. This time, it didn't sound so much like excitement as sheer desperation, as if the need had grown too much to bear, a joy that verged on terror. I was laughing at that part. Terror?
I'm sorry. You're missing the next line.
Her whole body erupted into goose pimples. Huh? Okay, and listen, I'm glad you pointed that out, because later on, she mentions goosebumps. And I thought, why did you freaking say goose pimples earlier?
You know what?
Was that?
You know what? She just 1 second. She tries to use a lot of different words to describe the same thing. And one that stood out in particular. We will go back to the concert. I'm sorry.
Okay, we need to go back.
This is too good of a segue. On page 141, she mentions, okay, she's talking about, like, crying, tears, okay?
Yes.
Tears well in my eyes. A snort of laughter escapes me when I realize, long day, I say, wiping at the damp spots in my tear trough. My tear trough.
Not the tear trough.
What are you talking about?
What?
I took anatomy. That's
and
not...
you mean that's not a part of a human eyeball? The tear trough? Kayla, you didn't learn about the tear trough?
That's the anatomical way to probably describe it, but what are you talking about?
It's just too much.
Like, you are not... No.
Yeah,
I'm
not
sorry.
the tear trough.
That was too much. That one, like, actually stood out to me as, like,
I did not think of that
one. What did she
one.
just say?
That is so funny.
Okay. Back to your page, 284.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good point, because what do you mean?
The words.
There were a lot of those. I just think that, like, the way she was writing this, I thought of Cosmo is definitely Harry Styles. Like,
oh, for sure.
1000%. And he, like, slides on his knees, and he's, like, being all weird, and he's dancing. Like, that's 1000% Harry Styles. This is also just a Taylor Swift concert. Like, the frenzy and the crazed nature of the audience.
Yeah.
They're definitely at a Taylor Swift concert. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I was getting, like, Elvis vibes, too, because...
Yeah. And they mention Elvis a little bit.
Yeah, they mentioned him, but it's just, at the time, it was so outlandish for somebody to be, like, dancing like that. And, like, oh my gosh, if they could only see what happens nowadays.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But here we are at a Harry Styles concert, and we're just supposed to control ourselves. Like, these girls didn't. They didn't control themselves at all.
God forbid I lose my mind watching Harry Styles dance.
I love that.
Which funny. I did.
I love that.
We went.
I love that trend.
And God forbid a girl loses her mind.
God forbid we have some criticisms about an Emily Henry
God
novel.
forbid I have some things to say about this book.
God forbid we aren't crying and wiping our tear troughs at the end of an Emily Henry novel.
I can't with the tear trough.
You actually did say you cried at the end.
I did tear up, like, at the end. It was emotional. But, you know, now that I'm in a different state of mind, I feel like I was tricked. It's fine.
Really?
You use your pretty words and your language, and I buy into it.
What made you cry at the end? What made you, like, really tear up? We gotta sprinkle in some goodness here.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I thought it was stupid that they named their daughter Laura.
But yeah, I saw that coming, but
I thought that was stupid. Why not Margaret? Like,
yeah,
that's what all this was for. Okay, so the part, honestly, it might have just been the last page, but like, yeah, it's just really pretty writing. That whole part. I'm not gonna read the whole page, but like, they have a baby, and just, it's just so cute. She's describing the joy she has. More tears. Hayden holds her against his chest with tears in his tear troughs. Our whole world packed into this tiny, impossible thing, and I've never felt anything like the love that spreads through my heart, like I swallowed the sun, like it's breaking up every bit of darkness inside me. That's just really cute. All of that whole thing, it kind of wraps up everything that she could have wrapped up throughout the whole book. She feels close to her parents. She's thinking about Margaret, and then... Okay. I crack my knuckles, and then I start to write. Everything I want to tell her someday, not just the headlines, but the whole truth. The good and the bad, the magic and curses, all the blues and grays right alongside the reds and golds. I tell her the story about a love so powerful it remade the world for her. I welcome her to this great, big, beautiful life. I thought that was so sweet.
I love the part where it says, I tell her the story about a love so powerful it remade the world for her. I really like that part.
Remade. I love it.
Yeah, it's very cute. It did not make me cry, but it was very cute. But I will say that I just noticed, because the name was so long that I just left. I just stopped reading it because the name was so long, but I just realized that their names are hyphenated. Laura Grace Anderson Scott.
Aww.
Like, okay, it's fine. I get it. Like,
yeah,
I get it.
This happens. Like, that's really funny.
It's just like,
well, I guess when you have two famous parents,
it's just a book. Like, I understand you're the author of this book, but just because you don't hyphenate the name doesn't mean you're not a feminist anymore. Like, it's okay. We're living in a fantasy. If she wants to take his last name, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
Well, maybe she didn't take his last name.
Woman, like,
maybe she kept her last name and they gave the baby both. Because when you have two famous writer parents, like, you might want all that recognition.
I understand. But it's just like, I don't know why. It just like, I don't know. I don't have anything wrong with it. Like, I considered like doing that with my last name, but like, it's funny to me because like, she doesn't. Okay, here's why I have an issue with it. Maybe this will make it more clear. Emily Henry would hyphenate her name for sure. She would never take her husband's last name. I do not feel the same way about Alice Scott. Like, I don't think that she would. That's not her personality. I don't feel that from her. Like, I just don't.
That's an interesting point.
I don't get like this, like, I don't get this overwhelming sense that like that's her personality. So just to make it that big of a point where like it's written here that it's hyphenated, like, I don't know. I don't understand it.
But because like she had her whole thing with her family and her dad. I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about.
And also, I feel like that thing with her mom was just so.
I couldn't with the mom. It was too much. No, it was too much.
It was too much. It just like it never came to an end.
It didn't. Like they had their little talk.
Yeah, it was like one day she came home and she was like, "I just don't feel seen by you," and she's like, "Oh, honey,
but
I'm so sorry you feel that way." Like, where has this conversation been for like 15 years?
You're telling me no one brought that up? Come on. Like, they send passive-aggressive texts to each other. Oh my god, by the way, we have The Shore. That's, yeah.
Her mom just always responds with, sure.
Sure. I just have to say, I hate texting in books. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I get that we're living in 2025 and everyone texts everything, but, like, you are writing a book? Come on. Like, And especially the stupid group chat with the friends. I don't care about her friends.
Was so irrelevant.
So
None
stupid.
of it mattered. None of it mattered. The only part of it that mattered, which I want to get into this a little bit, was Theo. Because, he wasn't around, and so she had to text him. Like, I get that. Yeah. That's fine. And then I feel like she had to make texting, like, a little bit of a bigger thing, so it wasn't just him. Like, I feel like that's kind of how that all came to be.
I just thought it was, like, another example of Emily Henry thinks I'm stupid. Like, we need to show you that Alice has friends, and look how funny they are, and look how much they like her. See, she is likable. Yeah. She is sunshine. You didn't need to do that. I get it.
No.
I hated that. I hate a group chat with meaningless conversation.
And I hated Theo. Like, he was the worst.
Stupid, and he also didn't need to be there. He was so irrelevant.
Yes. I mean, I did not even realize until the end, like, whenever I was gathering all my notes, I'm like, they never even met, like, in real life in the book.
No, they didn't.
What?
It was so dumb.
And I understand it's kind of I don't know. I feel like if they would have met, it would have went against everything she was saying about him, about how he's just so flaky and he never makes the plans and he always just waits for her to make them.
Like he was only there to make Hayden jealous and like to give him something to see in her. But like
he wasn't.
He wasn't.
And I was hoping for that. I wanted them to meet because I wanted that. I love a jealousy moment. Yeah. I love that. And I wanted that. And it just never even happened.
It was just like the presence of a date that she might bring to this old man's birthday party. But like, I feel like you could have scrapped. You have scrapped the whole Theo thing. Get rid of Theo. And like, I thought the moment where Hayden shows up worried because of the storm, like that could have been enough. That was great, and that could have been enough. Cut the Theo crap. Like, yes, that was good on its own. That was great. I liked that part.
It would have been more of a slow burn.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about that. That is like a great trope, and I love that trope so much. Like
and it happens.
To be rescued.
It happens in the Grumpy Sunshine thing a lot. And that's when he shows that he cares, is whenever he's worried about something.
We already knew he cared. I knew he was going to show up. It was not a question of whether he was going to show up.
No, you need it to be a surprise. I really liked that moment. And I was like, yeah, he did. But like, it was predictable. We all knew it was going to happen.
That's another thing. Like, it was always predictable. At the end, when she got the pizza delivery, and she's like, here's the person knocking. I'm like, it's Hayden. It's obviously Hayden. Like, she's gonna open the door and he's gonna be there. Like, I knew it was happening.
It was too easy.
But I did like the storm part. I thought that was cool.
That was good.
That was a nice touch. I liked that part of the book for sure.
Yeah, you didn't answer your phone. Yeah.
Oh no. What?
No, I was saying that he was telling her. You didn't answer.
Oh, I was like, wait, what? Is she trying to call me?
No, I'm trying to tell you something.
Oh, also, why is her phone always dead? I mean, like, maybe that's relatable to some people, but if my phone was dead, like, I would be.
Yeah.
I'm way too dependent on my phone.
I mean, I need to be reached, and I need to reach people.
I need to be reached.
I need to send Kayla pictures of my cats and tell her what I'm watching on TV. Like,
did the storm? Did that like? Did that give you some flashbacks?
I was triggered, honestly. Yeah, that was not good. And when I read that part, I was without electricity, sitting outside using sunlight alone to light my book.
Yeah,
and I thought
we didn't even mention that at the top of the episode because. Yeah, but sorry about last week. Mallory was down bad in the storm, and
4 days.
Didn't have a Hayden knocking on her door.
I did not. But the first night or whatever that the power went out, and I was just in bed at like 8 or whatever, so I was annoyed and the power was out. But my boyfriend Josh got home with a ton of ice, and he was like waking me up, and so it was like that version, but it wasn't romantic. You didn't save the freezer. No, I didn't. I was mad.
No, I didn't.
I threw the eggs away like immediately. Sorry.
Scared of them. No, but I thought that was funny, like that just happened to you, and then they were going through a similar
You're making me
experience.
relive my trauma. I'm gonna go tell someone about it and make them like me and feel bad for me.
It makes you more likable. Makes you more likable that you've lived through all these things.
See, right? That makes me friends. That gets guys to like me. Just also cringe, like.
Yeah.
Speaking of cringe, okay. I know you have more examples of this than me, of like cringy moments, because I just blew through them and I can't dwell because it's too much. But like one of them that I absolutely thought was so stupid. She's drinking something and she sends a picture to Theo, I think. You as a drink. Ew. What? You as a drink?
Oh my gosh.
What in the 2014 humor? No. What?
What is he? That was actually my first one I was going to go over. So, what is he even talking about, though? Is he talking about the size of the drink? Is he talking about the sunshiny nature of the drink
that was it.
That resembles her?
Like it's bright and fruity and silly. You as a drink. What? I hate you.
Yeah.
I hated that. That was stupid.
I don't know. It was really weird. Yeah, and then Tear Trough was the next one.
Tear Trough.
All the texting moments. And then, I mean, I probably have more examples, but this is one that I absolutely hated. On page 269. Hold on, I gotta find it, because it's hidden in this page somewhere. Wait, is it? It's like hidden. I'm gonna have to. Oh, okay. Storm's over, so my interview's back on. He crouches in front of me, his hand palming the entire right side of my head, like the basketball player he never was. What? Did we ever talk about him playing basketball?
I feel like maybe they mentioned him being tall and like, did you play basketball? No.
That is quite literally one of the weirdest lines I've ever read in a book. I will say that wholeheartedly.
Like, try and palm your head. Do it. Like,
I'm sorry, but okay, there are so many other ways you could describe that. Like, he never was. Like, what a dig, honestly. Like, what a burn. Like
the basketball player he never was. He had such big hands.
Just a bookworm.
What?
What are you talking about? Oh, hello, Obi.
You need to go away.
Quick plug to watch on YouTube. You might just see some cats on the screen.
Cute little man. Okay.
Then he just knocks.
He's like, get away from me.
Hey guys, we wanted to take a second to tell you something pretty cool. So we are a brand ambassador for a bookish shop called Hello Milo. You can use the link in our Instagram bio or our show notes, or you can go to shophellomilo.com and use the code doublebooked_pod to get 15% off your entire order, and they also offer free shipping over $50.
It's a really good deal. It's a very cute store. We each have some things from them. I've got a really cute hat that says Book Club Babe on it. I wore it this past weekend. I got a few compliments. I think Kayla got some fun Kindle stickers.
So be sure to check that out and let us know what you get.
So like, Jody.
Ooh,
what did you... We need to talk about the Jody thing.
Like, so we talked about how things were kind of predictable, but there were some things that I could not
That's
pin
true.
down.
I thought they were like
Jody...
a couple at the beginning, but like that kind of got squashed pretty quick when she started talking about Cosmo and stuff.
I thought the same thing, and then later on, I kept thinking that she was her sister. And
that's what.
But then that
that
didn't come true either.
I thought it started I got a creepy vibe, like, near the end, like, what is going on? I thought that Jody was Margaret, and she was just really old and, like, sick or something, and that Margaret was Laura trying to, like, get money from something, or, like, get stuff out about her family. And I was like, oh,
Mallory?
wait, I really thought I did something. But, like...
would have been so much more interesting. Because also... the extortion and that weird doctor man that just took her away all of a sudden, where did that come from?
It's very weird.
We never got any sense that, like, we did get the sense that Laura was, like, pretty timid and reserved, and I guess she could be, like, easily influenced.
Impressionable.
But, like, that was so weird.
She just left? Like, I don't know. Again, why do we care? Weird. We don't. We just didn't know her enough. Like,
we don't even know Laura.
We don't know Laura.
This is the first story, like, she was in, basically.
Yeah,
that's when Margaret started talking about her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I went down the rabbit hole of, like, I thought one of them was related to her, but I thought it was Alice the whole time.
Okay.
And because I was, like, thinking... which, this was a good twist, because the whole time I was thinking, okay, so she hired Hayden because he's actually a biography writer. He's an award-winning one at that.
Yeah.
And then she hired this girl because she's okay, but we're related.
You know? That makes so much more sense. So, like, why Alice?
Yeah.
Like...
yeah. Because she sought her out, I guess.
And, like, in your scheme, you're just gonna, like, drag her along? Like, sure, okay.
The scheme was that Jody, like, came up with a scheme of, like, if you want to get to know Hayden better, make him think it's a competition, and, like, that he's here for a job instead of, so.
I just thought it was dumb. Like, you guys are smart and you have so much money. Figure it out a different way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I really did think that the whole time, because I thought she was opening up to Alice because they were, like, family versus Hayden, who she wasn't giving much information to, and he was like, I feel like she's lying to me, she never answers my questions, all these things, but turns out she was just wanting to get to know him instead of him getting to know her, and which was just interesting. But yeah, I went down that whole rabbit hole, and then I was like, wait, maybe her mom's her sister, and or, like, something crazy like that, but then that didn't. Her mom was, like, so irrelevant. Like, so
irrelevant. I don't know. Emily Henry does stuff, like, with the family dynamics in her books. This was just too much. Like, it was too many points to follow, and you can do that kind of thing in, like, in a 10-book fantasy series, but, like, not in a 400-page romance book, romance/mystery/drama/comedy. Like, I don't know what the heck this was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You can't have that many strings involved.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna talk about when we were talking about when they have an actual conflict at the end, like there's actually something brewing between them. I thought there was gonna be so much more that came with his ex-girlfriend. When he brought her up, I was like, oh, okay, this makes so much sense, because they were, like, waiting to be promoted for the same position, and then that caused all this conflict, so that's why he was like, I can't be with you, whatever. But then it just, like, didn't matter all of a sudden. Like, if it's this real, like, deep trauma that you have because you loved this girl and you gave it all up for this job, then, like, shouldn't that fear still be there, like,
well,
2 days from now? Like,
it's true. He
away.
Did go and give up the job, like, towards the end.
He did, but, like
he was avoiding that.
I thought the whole middle part would be more of a struggle for him. Like, we can't get close. They were getting close in every way except, like, being intimate with each other. Like,
But they still were being intimate. Like, they just didn't want to say, like, I love you. Like, you're still, like, you're not fooling everyone. He did, but she couldn't say it. He wouldn't let her say it.
This is so ridiculous. Like, he is the one with the hang up. Like, I can't compete with people that I love. He says it first,
Yeah.
and she, the sunshine, say it.
The stupid rule.
What?
Don't
What
say
do
it till
you
we
mean?
know. Like, she's gonna change your mind. I don't know. I just...
Oh
so,
my
like, what
gosh.
about... What was her sister's name? Audrey?
Oh, yeah.
Why is she mentioned so often? Oh, I know why. Because it's another trauma point to get us to feel bad for Alice. We never exactly disclose what's wrong with her. And she's fine now. Like, there was nothing wrong. I thought she'd be dead or something. Like, that's...
Yeah, and they never said why she's fine.
Never said what happened. It's just like, I cringed so hard near the beginning when they're in the hotel room and they're next to each other. Their rooms are next to each other. And he wouldn't answer the door. And she's like having a moment where she freaks out over it. And like, I get it. I sympathize with whatever coming up and manifesting in a weird way. But like, you don't care about him this much already, right? Like, I just couldn't buy it. There's so many moments where I couldn't buy it. No, I can't.
Yeah, and it's like, I just felt like her sister wasn't really a part of her life, to be honest. Like,
she wasn't. Like, she's not. There was a family group chat.
Her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just her mom and her sister texting. It's not really her. And she's like, she feels so detached, but like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't make sense.
Irrelevant.
So much of it did not need to be in there. The sister, there was the Cecil thing. That also didn't get closed up. Like, okay. I just kept thinking,
so what,
like...
What does Cecil have to do with any of this, to be honest? Like, he was there for her sister, right? At the trial. And then he was there when Cosmo died. But, like...
Do they know each other now?
Because he was the one that helped her, like, cover up the Nicolette thing? Is that why?
I think. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think it was that important.
Yeah, I think he was like her doctor when all of that was happening, when she was like trying to hide it or whatever.
Okay. Oh no, you're right. So, you're right. Because they had to hide it for like 2 years or something. A lot closer.
Yeah.
Oh, and he and Laura fell in love.
Yeah, doesn't he marry her sister? That's what I thought. He marries Laura.
So now what? They're living on this island and they pretend they don't know each other? Like, do they interact? That part was so weird to me.
I don't think we ever figured that out.
I don't know. And then just like another part where like she sewed it up, but like so loosely, and it didn't feel like much. Like the whole relationship with Alice and Hayden at the end, she rushed through it. Like, we know they end up together, but like they have a kid. They end up writing the book together, which is the driving plot point for this entire story, and it's just like skimmed over in a line. Like, yeah, we did the book. Well, people loved it. What?
The other whole plot point that was just skimmed over was that Hayden and, like, we never see really how Hayden and Margaret's relationship ever.
No. Like, and they tell the mom.
Yeah, they tell the mom. She really, like, doesn't want anything to do with
it.
And then, like, Hayden is kind of, like, getting close to her because he's writing this book with his girlfriend.
Yep. It's just too weird to me.
That's the whole point of the book, is for them to get closer. Without that, none of this happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they're kind of close because he names his daughter after her sister.
Yeah.
His aunt, who he's never met.
Only heard about. I don't know. I couldn't get behind so much of it. I'm trying to think of, like, what... Did I have anything good to say? There were some good, like, writing moments and stuff.
Yeah, there were. I wanted so much more from the... She starts it off really strong. I wanted so much more from this. There's an old saying about stories and how there are always 3 versions of them. Yours, mine, and the truth. Like, that was really mysterious. And
that was
I wanted that to keep coming back around. Ugh. I wanted that. Wait, I gotta say one more thing before we move on to the good, because we want to end it off with the good.
Yeah. Okay.
What the heck were they doing under the table with their legs? Like, they're just giants all the time. All the time, it's their legs
constantly
under the table.
With the legs
like
folding.
Basketball players that
never were. No, and like, I guess it's like, we're cute, we're tall, and like, we have to arrange ourselves under the booth, but enough already. How many times?
Just go home then.
How about you go get takeout and eat at home where you could spread out your giant legs? Huh? How about that? Oh my God.
You are too tall for this diner.
You gotta be this tall to dine.
What are they doing?
So, like,
it was mentioned so many times. I
can't find the booth. But she said at least 3 times, which is too many times. He was in the corner booth, right by the bathrooms.
Oh my gosh!
Enough by the bathrooms. Stop writing that.
Oh, because he has to be able to see the whole restaurant. Like,
that's so like toxic.
That
alpha. Like, I need to see what's going on around me so I can assess the situation.
That's also a my husband thing because he's in the military. That's like a military thing.
That's a different story. This is Hayden.
No, it's a different story. But that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't come across to me as that type of guy. Like, he comes across as like this moody, don't care, whatever attitude. Not like,
take my green tea.
I gotta have eyes on the whole situation. Like,
he's
not a police officer. Like,
you're writing a biography.
Writer.
I have to say one thing. I put a flag next to this. Okay, I can't with this cat. Okay. This is a totally random point that I just remembered. Okay. What were they? They're talking about writing and whatever, and when do you think your parents will be proud of you? When you win a Pulitzer? Because he did win a Pulitzer. He's like, no, they don't care. Whatever. My family's not proud of me. And then his huge shoulders lift in a shrug. It's true. This is on page 218. How many of your favorite shows got canceled? How many of the best albums barely sold when they came out? I mean, It's a Wonderful Life was a box office flop in its time. If everyone who worked on that movie had known, could see how things were going to pan out short term, how would have they bothered to make it? I just need to say, I hate that movie so much. I think it's the worst. I hate watching it. It's awful.
Yeah.
I hate it. My mom loves that movie. And like, I watched it for the first time. I'm like, this sucks. Why are you watching this? And sometimes I think older movies are kind of boring because I just can't relate or whatever. But like, if this is supposed to be so good, why wasn't it? Like, I hated watching that movie.
Yeah,
it
sucks. Know, I get it.
That's all I have to say. I just didn't like it.
It sucks.
It sucks.
I don't think I've ever watched it, to be honest.
You should, just so you can agree with me. It's terrible.
Yeah, I know. I should watch it.
Great message and whatever, but like, I hated the movie. That's Okay, I thought we were ending on a good note.
Yeah.
There was something good in here. I'm looking for this one note I have. Note.
There's a few things that I marked, like, I don't know. There's a lot of good lines in here, mixed in with like some really silly stuff. Like, that's why I can't get a grasp on it, because I like these quotes. Like, love isn't something you can cup in your hands, and I have to believe that means it's something that can't ever be lost. Like, I love that. That's
cool. A good one.
I like that a lot. And then we already kind of touched on this with the ending, but like, when she says, for the one you love, anything. You unmake the world and build a new one. You do anything to give them what they need.
Yeah, and then she remade the world for her daughter.
Yeah, like, I loved that.
She does do emotions really well.
Yeah.
Really, like, makes you feel like, oh my god, I'm nervous about Laura too, even though I don't really know her that well.
Yeah, right. There was another one.
I'm trying to find... I didn't flag it. There was a really good one about, like, family or something. I think it was something her dad said or something, but it was just sweet. I'm not going to find it. Maybe I'll post it on the
There was
gram.
another part in page 184 that I liked a lot.
184.
Yeah. We were already there.
I feel like
but for something different. Oh, I really like this because, like I said at the beginning of the book, I liked where she was going with, like, the yours, mine, and the truth.
Yeah.
And so this is when, this is, like, after they kiss, and he says, "Can I walk you back to your car?" She nods, still too unsteady to speak. "Nothing happened. I'll remind myself later while I'm lying awake." Eyes turned up to the stucco ceiling. "It was just a hug. My body will tell a very different story. Yours, mine, and the truth."
See, I love a callback like that.
Callback. Yeah,
that was really
really good.
I did like that.
I had one also. Go ahead.
Okay.
You go.
Sorry.
No, it's your turn.
The entirety of this section, it's from 208, 209, 210, and 211, was beautiful. I loved all of that. It was like the first, I think, moment of Margaret. It's awesome. Like that whole that whole thing.
Yes,
that writing was so good. I loved that. I'm gonna go back and read that somewhere. It was so good.
Yes.
What's it like to feel yourself alone in the world? Man, that part was so good. I loved that.
Yes.
I won't read the whole thing.
We needed more of this.
Beautiful. It was so good.
Yeah, I really like that too. Yeah, like, what's it like to roller skate in the ballroom with your sister, or to read a book about a pony and wake up the next morning to find one wearing a big velvet bow in the marble foyer? And to love it. Love it so much. You name it after the swan you lost. Like, that's crazy. It's so
This whole
funny.
thing was just like, I don't know, like, such good creative writing. I don't know. You have to, the things she was coming up with are just so, like, interesting and unique. I loved that whole thing. That was the best part, I think, of this whole book. For me.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah. When you're built into the fabric of a place, and that place was built to keep everyone out. Oof.
It's giving Frozen a little bit. Stay in your castle. Don't use your powers.
Giving Frozen with the sisterhood and the that's hilarious.
Yeah.
219. Okay, 219. I liked this part. Oh yeah, this is where you were with the It's a Wonderful Life thing. They're talking about, like, leaving a mark on the world, I believe, in, like, permanence. And
that it's permanence, he says.
Yeah.
In the middle of the page.
So it's permanence, he says. Not like having your name on the side of a effing airplane or skyscraper or some shit like that, but bringing something intangible into the world that can live on without you. Something bigger than the person who made it. And even then, the goal is secondary to the process. The process is for us. It changes us in ways that can't be measured. At least that's what I've always thought. And I love that because that's how I feel about doing this podcast. Like, I don't know, it just made me think of that, and like how it's just because they say this at the top, like, just because something doesn't make money or win awards doesn't mean it doesn't have value or doesn't deserve to exist.
Yeah.
And because they say the goal is immortality, it's permanence.
I agree. It's for us.
I loved it. Yeah. It's for us, and just bringing something into the world that can live on without you. Like, it's very cool. So
only you and me can create this kind of magic.
It's true. I mean, I felt like this episode was magic. Maybe our listeners didn't think so if they really like this book.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to, even if you really like something, it's okay to point out its flaws and to laugh about it. It's okay.
Yeah, I really like
this book. We didn't.
Yeah, I like it, I guess. I'm glad I read it. I wouldn't recommend it.
you grumpy sunshine today.
Yeah, I'm grumpy.
Sunshine. Not really. We're both just grumpy about.
I feel like
book,
we're both
kind
of just grumps. It's okay.
Yeah.
But if one of us is more sunshine, it's definitely you. Like for the Eras tour, I was Reputation. You went as Fearless. That's grumpy sunshine.
Yeah, we've always been like that, like black cat, golden retriever energy.
Also, we just like different colors.
Yeah, no, it's mostly just the colors, to be honest. I mean, we have the same personality. That's why we're here.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty much.
I don't know. Whenever I describe Kayla to someone, I say she's me, but better. And it's not in a self-deprecating way. It's not it's the truth, and I'm okay with it. It's just how I describe you to people.
That is not true at all.
I'm not saying that so you'll tell me that. It's the truth. You're trying
to make people like you with your trauma.
I'm trying. You're trauma
dumping.
I'm trauma dumping. Like me. Give us a good review because you feel bad for me. Choose me.
Pick me. No, but all in all, I'm glad that we read this book. I was excited to read another Emily Henry.
Me too.
And I think it was fitting for like the season. At least here it's, I mean, not where you are, but here in South Carolina, it's very springy.
It's pretty springy here. We're having some good weather, minus the storms.
Minus the storms, which was also a big part of the book. But I enjoyed reading it like outside and just, it was a good read. So,
yeah.
Do you want to give your final rating?
It's just weird because
say one thing you liked about it, one thing you didn't like about it, and then give your rating.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess we already did that, but I just
feel
thought
like
it'd be a way to soften the blow.
Yeah. Okay. I think that she really writes like emotions and love and stuff really well, and that really keeps me around because I love that stuff. I'm mushy and she's mushy and she's so smart with it. It makes it sound really good. The main thing the book suffered from was like horrible pacing and like inconsistency, and I didn't care, and she didn't make me care about a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2 for me. I don't like saying that.
This is our first 2.
This is our first 2.
I think that's our first one we've been that low on, for sure.
I don't like saying that because I really like Emily Henry.
No,
it wasn't higher than that.
I feel you on that. No, I really liked, similar to you, I like her when she gets deep. I really liked all those deep moments. There were so many quotable moments in this, and so many times where I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be big." Like she's gonna make a call back to that, and that's gonna be huge, and it's gonna like set this whole story like on fire.
Yes.
Like it's gonna be awesome. But it just didn't make sense. Like there were just times where it just didn't make sense. Whether it be like the plot holes with the characters, whether it be like just the silly writing alongside all these like deep thoughts.
Yeah.
It just wasn't making sense to me. And for that reason, I think I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I don't know, but that seems too high still.
I don't know. I'm not going to change your rating, but like when I rate something a 3, I still kind of like, I did like this a little. I don't know. It was just, there were too many bad things for me.
I feel like maybe I'd go like,
if 2.5's an option,
or 3. Yeah, I was between a 2.5 and a 3, and I think maybe 2.5 makes more sense because I just feel like I rate a lot of books a 3.
Yeah, it's too average of a rating.
But I think this was worse than average for me.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I would say that, and I would say my average is
like 3.5. I'd say is probably my average. 3.5, 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I gotta go with the 2.5. It's just, maybe it's just the wrong book, wrong time. Like,
maybe it wasn't that good.
Or maybe we just had a lot of problems with it. But
it might have been. Yeah. It's a great, beautiful backfire on Emily Henry's part. It wasn't that good.
Oh, and we had another question
We
that
did.
we were going to talk about. Maybe we can end it on this note. So, when you think about the phrase great big beautiful life, which I thought this was going to be more of a theme in the story.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I like that title.
What does that mean to you? What do you think of when you think of a great big beautiful life?
I mean, that's kind of a big thing, like a big grand title.
Like, what do you see? What do you see being a part of that? Like, just
immediately I see like mountains, like great big, and then like like maybe I'm not being as literal as I should be, but like mountains. I'm thinking of like in The Sound of Music when she's running through the field and like music and just like you know, you have moments in your life sometimes where it feels like that, and like I want my life to have a lot of those moments where you're just like, this is what it's all about, like that kind of thing. Yeah,
and
whatever
like
that
being
looks
able
like
to
for me.
recognize that, like having those moments, but like knowing that like this is a
moment.
I want to like take it all
I love
in.
that feeling. Like
oh,
like I'm in a moment that I'm gonna miss someday, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Being more present and being with the ones you love, for sure.
Even the ones you didn't.
Literally, as you were saying that, I was picturing The Sound of Music in my head. I don't understand how we communicate like this. But
it's just like 15 years of telepathy growing stronger by the day.
It's insane. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
No, but I'm really glad we covered this book. I think a lot of people are reading it, so
yeah.
Hopefully there's a decent amount of people listening to this episode, and if you've made it this far, we're glad you're here. If you haven't, you probably
hate you
this book a lot more than us. But we hope you'll stick around because we have a lot of nice things to say as well. I know this sounds...
We do.
This episode was pretty pessimistic, but we have a lot of great things to say, particularly about the Throne of Glass series, which we are in the middle of covering. We took a short break to do this one. But coming up next on the pod, so we have the book time capsule episode, which was postponed because of Mallory's big storm. Great big beautiful storm.
Great big beautiful power outage.
But that's coming up next week. We already recorded that one, and it was super fun. So if you want to be nostalgic and see me uncover all of the books that I've forgotten about from my past, it's a good one. So
check that out for sure.
It's a really good one. And then after that, we'll be going back into Throne of Glass. So we're continuing on with our Tandem read and then heading straight into Kingdom of Ash. So we're ready to wrap this one up and...
get back to it.
I don't want it to be over. I don't want it to be over, but like I'm ready to know what happens.
Yeah. You need to be here with me on the end at the finish line.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, if you want to tell us how much you disagree with us or how much you agree with us on this episode, you can find us on social media. We're loving Bookstagram, and I think it's loving us back. We have a good vibe on there, and we've got some good pals, honestly. So follow us on Instagram. We're doublebooked_pod. If you feel like going to TikTok, it's a lot of audio clips from us. It's double_booked_pod. And if you want to follow and leave a review on Spotify, Apple, and now YouTube, search for Double Booked Podcast, and we have our little logo of the two girls sitting at a table podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
And that's us. Oh, yeah. You know where to find us.
We're on the tube now, so you can find us there.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. Leave a comment, even if it's a hate comment.
Even if it's a hate comment. We're accepting hate comments. We're open.
Just want a comment, please.
Just one.
Just talk to us.
Yeah.
Tell us why you're right. Tell us why this wasn't a 2-star.
Convince me this was a 5.
This wasn't a 2-star.
That's a challenge. We just gave everyone a challenge. I'm ready. I want to see. I want my mind to be changed.
Everyone's feelings are valid, including ours. So
yeah, I guess. Even Alice's. Sorta.
Alice Scott.
Alice.
The most generic name that ever existed. But anyways.
Yeah,
We love you
anyways.
guys. Thank you for listening, watching, and keep reading along with us. But until next time, happy reading.
Bye.